I have a couple of players from the 2020 QB draft class. I got the players from the 2021 QB draft class. The quarterbacks that we have drafted first to last, man. We have Joe Burrow. We got Tua. We got Justin Herbert. We got Jalen Hurts. We got Trevor Lawrence. We got Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, and Davis Mills, man. And our tiers are franchise guy, great player, starter, journeyman, and bust. Me, Rod, and Josh, we are going to debate where each of these players should be. That is going to be the game. That is what we're going to do.
Let's
Are
get
y'all
it, baby.
ready? Y'all good? Y'all got it? Y'all ready for this?
Ready for this, man.
First thing first, man. Joe Burrow, man. Where we putting him?
I mean, I think to me, I think it's pretty clear he's a franchise guy. He already made it to a Super Bowl, and he could make it back. He can make it
Josh,
back.
do you agree? You disagree? Is that where you're putting Joe Burrow?
Yeah, I think I picked the Bengals coming out of the AFC before I pick anybody else this year. They're like 8 wins.
Wow, that is a hot take, my boy, man. Listen, I gotta agree, man. Joe Burrow, man, franchise guy, man. Now this is where it's gonna get kind of tough. This is where it gets spicy, man. So Tua Tagovailoa, man. There's no way that he's gonna be past starter. All right, so we got great player, we got good but not great starter, journeyman, and bust, man.
Good, not great.
Ooh, Rod, where do you want to put him, man? I'm
Oh,
gonna be the tiebreaker on this.
Nah, I'm gonna put him at great player. I'm gonna put him at great player. The only reason why I don't put him as franchise guy is only because we got to see a little bit more of him playing well along the line. But as of right now, I'll say great player. I feel pretty good.
All right, so it's me. I'm gonna be the tiebreaker on this. I'm going to say
Can I make an
that.
argument?
Go ahead.
I would say that franchise guy is below great player, only because there are franchise quarterbacks who are not great.
All right, man. Say less, bro. Boom. It don't take nothing to move that dog.
And I think Joe Burrow would
Well, I gotta ask you though, Josh. Who's a franchise quarterback who's not great? Huh?
Daniel Jones.
No, because they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. The best Kirk Cousins. Yeah, Kirk Cousins. Yeah, that was Kirk
Okay,
Cousins.
If you say
That's
Kirk,
fair.
that's fair.
Are not great quarterbacks.
All right, so that's fair. So we'll start over, right? So we have great player, franchise guy, good but not great, starter, journeyman, and bust. Because you do make a very good point. Because at the end of the day, like you can make the argument that Ryan Tannehill is a franchise quarterback.
There you go.
So you can make the argument. So that is fair.
Listen, y'all can say that. No way, not to me. Y'all can say that shit. I ain't saying that fucking at all. I watched the guy for 7 years. He ain't no franchise guy. I'm saying that right now.
Holy shit.
No way.
Holy shit. All right. Okay, so we all agree that Joe Burrow is a great player. All right. Tua
So franchise guy
Tagovailoa.
for me then.
So you got him at franchise guy. What about you?
Franchise. I'll give him franchise.
Okay, so y'all got me both. I was gonna say good but not great because I just can't forget those that first season, bro. Like I the first 2 seasons I can't forget it, dog. Like it's hard. But
you know what's funny about Tua? I just want to make mention of this, Herb. I think what he suffers from, for most people, is first impression is a lasting impression. I think it's hard for a lot of people to kind of look at him like the way I see people judging Tua this season is kind of like they're waiting for the wheels to fall off. I don't feel that way at all. But I can understand because I can tell you, I watched the nigga, his first 2 years. There was nothing special that you could really see his first 2 years. So I can't argue people with that. But
next up, man, Justin Herbert, bro, who was a 3rd quarterback in that 2020 draft, man. I'm gonna start. Ironically, this season that he's had this year has convinced me that he's actually a great player because if he wasn't on this team, bro, the Chargers would probably have 2 wins at this point, bro. Like he's at least gotten them more wins than they should have, bro. That's just me though. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass the rock to Rod. Where do you put Justin Herbert, Rod?
as of right now, I'll put him as a franchise guy. And I'll tell you why. He has a great player talent, no doubt. If you watch any Chargers games, he's going to make at least 2 or 3 throws where you go, what the fuck was that? Like, he does that every game. But there's something weird, and I don't want to put it all on him because, he's what carries the team. But the nigga he for his first 3 seasons, and maybe it's just the Chargers curse, he doesn't win a lot. Like, he has a losing record for his career, which isn't all on him. QB wins is not just
No, it is. It is.
Well, the one thing I will always say about my man Tua is he will usually make enough plays to win, even if it don't look pretty.
All right, so you have him a franchise guy. Josh, you are the tiebreaker, or you could throw a complete wrench in this, bro. So where do you have Justin Herbert?
I got him at it's a franchise guy. It's not labeled as great until you accomplish great things.
Fair enough. Fair enough, man.
No
So we're
argument,
going
man.
to go ahead and put Justin Herbert there, man. Jalen Hurts, man. Rod, I'm going to go ahead and start with you, man.
This is a tough one, Herb. But you know what? I'm gonna be fair to Jalen Hurts because I'll be honest. I wasn't really expecting a lot from him this season, but he's impressed me. So I'll put him as I was thinking good, not great, but I think he's proven he could be a franchise guy. I mean the team is 10-1. Like he's a franchise guy at minimum.
He's even done great things. Like speaking of, you can't be great without doing. He's accomplished great things already this year, but I still have him only as a franchise guy because I think that like similarly to like how Justin Fields, who I'm sure we'll talk about in a second, is like he'll have a couple great games because people don't really have the book out on him yet. Like Sirianni's kind of like that.
Man, y'all guys are ranking him way higher. If it was me, bro, he's a starter. Like, take Jalen Hurts. No, bro, this ain't got nothing to do. This is not no NFC East beef, bro. This is purely put him on any other team that is not amazing. Like, you saw him in that playoff game against the Bucks last year, bro. And again, you can develop, you can grow as a player, but I don't think he's that far off from that player that we saw in that. Not last year, but 2 years ago. I'm sorry. No, I'm tripping. It was last year. My bad. It was last year. It was last year. I don't think he's that far off. Like, if you watch plays and you watch film on the Eagles, he has an incredible system around him, bro. He is a starter. He's a high-end starter, but I'm not even going to call him good, but not great. He is a product of everything around him, bro. But you both said he's a franchise guy, so I'm going to be beholden to what we have, bro. So I will put him in franchise. Not me. This is where he should. This is where I think he is, but I'm outranked, bro. So franchise guy, man. So that's it for the 2020 team or 2020 draft class. Let's move on to the 2021, man. Starting with Trevor Lawrence, bro. Y'all know my history with Trevor Lawrence, bro. So I'll get the last pick, bro. But I'm gonna start with you, Josh. Where would you put Trevor Lawrence?
I think that once he finds and if I think that he suffers from, and I've heard this on like other interviews and stuff, he's always had to be like no emotion whatsoever. Because like from like 15 years old, he was crowned like the next Peyton Manning, and so I'm sure any emotion that he ever showed on the football field like was told like, oh, you can't do that because then you're cocky or arrogant or whatever. So now like he's just this dull guy. Like in the past couple of weeks, I've seen him like show some life and like this before they got the doors beat off him by the Lions. But I think that he's good, not great.
I don't know. It's just something about him that I can't get sold on. I'll say he's a starter in the league. I'll say he's a starter. I'll give him that much because he has had some flashes here and there, but I need to see more from him before I could really believe that Trevor Lawrence could be anything other than just an average starter that'll show you flashes here and there. Tannehill showed me flashes, Derby, but he never panned out to be anything. So I'm not saying that Trevor Lawrence is the same kind of prospect. Oh, he was the best prospect since John Elway, people told me. I haven't seen that. I've seen pieces of it here and there, but I'll say he's a starter.
All right, man. So that leaves me. If you know my history, bro, you know me. You know me. I can't stand Trevor Lawrence, bro. No disrespect to him on a personal. My hate for Trevor Lawrence is strictly about the fact that it's never his fault. I've said this on the podcast before, and I've said this on the podcast in the past, and I've said it on the podcast, and I will say this on the podcast going forward. He is literally too talented to fail as a quarterback. He is so talented. Like, he might be the most talented quarterback of all time. More than Patrick Mahomes, more than Dan Marino, more than John Elway, more than Aaron Rodgers. He's so talented, he's bust-proof. Like, he literally trips and falls his way into an incredible play, bro, because he's that talented. Like, he can't be bad, bro. Like, so for him to be average as he's been this entire career so far is a testament to his talent, because when he just turns his brain off and just does incredible shit and doesn't think, he will do incredible shit. So I have to say, as much as I don't like him And much as I think he has been bad, and a lot of the reason why the Jaguars have been bad is because of him. I have to say good, not great. Like he's that talented. Whoo! We don't
Wow,
even
that's
have to.
surprising.
We don't even have to talk about Zach Wilson, bro. Let's just go ahead and get that one out of the way, bro.
Hold
I'm
on,
done.
Herb, I got to do my chant. B-U-S-T. Bust, 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 nigga.
I'm gonna strongly disagree here.
What?
I'm going starter.
Nah. There's no way.
I
There's
can
no
prove.
way.
What have you
There's
seen in him?
go, Josh. The
Nothing.
floor is yours. The floor is yours, bro.
Who played for the Los Angeles Rams tonight? Baker Mayfield. Why? Because what he did in Carolina? Absolutely not. Because he was the first round pick. Zach Wilson is the first round pick. He's the first pick. So that's going to get him starting roles into positions where he doesn't deserve it. He's a bust, but he was going to be, at the end of the day, he's going to start for 4 more teams.
Okay, so again,
But not. I would say a journeyman's backup, like a Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think that he's going to start for multiple teams, just like Baker did, only because of where he was drafted. Like he is such an incredibly long leash because the old school NFL, like, oh, the number one pick in the draft mentality, whereas like someone like Brock Purdy, if that's even Brock Purdy, I think. See, I don't even know. Has such an incredibly short leash. He just beat the Dolphins, and they're already talking about replacing him. Oh, let's get Josh Free. Like, what? He just beat the Dolphins. Give him a chance. Zach Wilson is going to be afforded every luxury that he could, every advantage that you could possibly have as a quarterback. He's going to get every opportunity that and he's not going to deserve it. But that's just how it goes, being the number one pick.
luckily for us, this is the Phin Outta Water podcast, and we both know what's gonna happen, bro. So we all agree that he's a bust, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put him right there, man. Woo. All right, next up, Justin Fields, man. This one, Justin Fields could be anywhere from great to journeyman, bro. He is the wild card of the past two drafts, bro. So um I'll go ahead and start on my end. I'm going to say Justin Fields is going to be a starter for me. For me. And I'm gonna explain why. I think Justin Fields is incredible as an athlete. I think Justin Fields is incredible as a football player. But when it comes down to it, you have to be a quarterback. We've seen even with this season, and I get it, bro. He doesn't have the best supporting class. He doesn't have the best O line. Chase Claypool got traded to the Bears, and he doesn't make a dent. Like I forgot he was on the Bears. Like I legitimately forgot he was on the Bears. However, you have to win in the pocket to have a great career. There are going to be so many moments where he doesn't win in the pocket, like that game against the Packers, right? To close the game out, and he just threw a pick at the end of the game. You can't run your way out of this. You're going to throw a pick. I think his deficiencies as a quarterback is going to ultimately hold him back as a player. And again, he could literally be great to journeyman. That's the variance. Rod, go ahead.
I got a chance to watch him up close, and he ran all over his dog, and he's run all over a lot of teams. But I think I gotta agree with you, Herb. I think he could be started just because him as an athlete, his running ability. I see the Packers fan is not a fan of the Bears. I can see it in your face. But I mean, at the end of the day, his ability to make plays without throwing the ball is gonna add some value to his game. Where he falls short is where I feel the same about Herb is, and I've watched film on Justin Fields. One of my favorite film guys, Tim Jenkins, he does film on Justin Fields every week whenever he plays. And at the end of the day, he was improving a little bit, but he still makes his mistakes as a passer. And I don't know how much better he will ever actually get in that aspect. He will improve, but I don't know if it'll ever be enough to make him good, not great, or even higher. But at the end of the day, for now, I'll definitely say he's a starter.
All right, Josh.
Justin Fields is a journeyman to a bust. Justin, they spent their draft pick on a quarterback that can't throw the ball. He has more rushing yards than he has passing yards, and everybody this is the same. This is the same. Colin Kaepernick had an incredible season, and then what happened the next year situation? Like once the book is out on a running quarterback, and they make you throw, and then the defense is just sit there and say, "Now I dare you to throw." It's like, and then this is bad. This is bad news bears, if you will. Jair Alexander, who had gotten destroyed all night, finally came up with an interception to get us a win because Justin Fields stared at him the entire play. And yeah, I'm a Bear hater, so this is obviously coming from a place of hate. But that's what it is.
I mean, listen, man. I'll say this. At the end of the day, his max for me right now is starter, so I'm not gonna disagree with you, bro. I don't think he's a bust, but he was for me, he was somewhere between being a journeyman and a starter. I gave him the benefit of the doubt because we saw we saw flashes of what he could do when he actually plays a good game. And even though he has more rushing yards than passing yards, Herb alluded to it earlier. Like, I mean, yeah, he doesn't have a lot of like they went out and traded for Chase Claypool to be like, like that's what they're working with. But he can make enough plays with his legs, and dude, like whenever that nigga takes out, like that nigga has a knack for just breaking from the defense, dog.
Let's go on to the next player, bro. Like, while I deal with the baby, bro. Mac Jones, bro. Where y'all putting Mac Jones, man?
Journeyman, this dude almost lost his job to Billy Zappi. I mean, that's just the only fact. The only reason saving him is the fact that he's in Bill Belichick's offense. The fact that he got to the playoffs is not because of him. Like, he got to the playoffs throwing like 3 passes in a game. That's it. That's a franchise guy.
Oh, bro, listen, dude, I'm right with you. People can say what they want about Tua, but when people try to look me in the eye and tell me that Mac Jones is better, I'm just like, dude, get the fuck out of here. The only thing you could say for him this season that's going against him, outside of like a veteran quarterback, I don't know what young quarterback could play with Matt Patricia and Joe Judge as their coordinator and QB coach. Like, that's just such a weird coaching decision. So that was kind of like a match made in heaven. But Mac, I'm right there with you. Like, I won't call him a bust, but he's definitely Mac Jones screams journeyman. That nigga got he's going on a pilgrimage to different teams. Like, I don't think the Patriots are gonna keep him as a starter for long, which then maybe you can call him a bust, but he might end up going to some other team and being like a Tannehill where he comes and he kind of makes it into his own, but right now he is a prime journeyman, Herbie. He got his hiking boots on. He's gonna go rock climbing. Journeyman all day,
bro. There's no, but like, and I'm not saying this to be funny. Like, Mac Jones is literally prototype journeyman quarterback, bro. Like, if you design him in a laboratory, bro, you would get Mac Jones, bro. He is average at every aspect of quarterback, bro. Like, that is the quintessential journeyman, bro. So yeah. And last but not least, man, where are we putting Davis Mills? What the fuck do we do with this guy, bro? Like, what do we do with this guy? Bro?
I mean, I'll tell you what. I don't think you can call him a bust just because of where they drafted him. Facts. Like, they weren't expecting him to be much. I think when Mac Jones goes on his trip, he's gonna keep his seat nice and warm and have Davis Mills as his buddy riding along with him. Because I'll give him journeyman because as bad as the Texans have been, he's been one of their bright spots, which is crazy to say, but it's the truth, dog. Like, he doesn't make any plays, but he doesn't make a lot of mistakes either. So that sounds like a guy that could be a perfect journeyman.
I mean, he's a journeyman. I would say I would even venture to say almost starter because he's been able to obtain a win on a franchise that is, by all accounts, on fire. So I mean, like, everything going on in that organization, there.
I have him as journeyman simply because of his draft lineage, right? Like, the same thing you said about Zach Wilson, which is why Zach Wilson is going to get multiple opportunities to get a start. I think Davis Mills is better than where he was drafted, but not good enough to overcome anything. Like, Davis Mills is not good enough to overcome the Houston Texans, bro, right? It's the Houston Texans, bro, right?
I don't know any quarterback that is.
Right? So the fact that
playing top 5 couldn't. So
absolutely. Deshaun Watson had one of the greatest quarterback seasons that we ever seen, and he only won 4 games, bro, with the Houston Texans, bro. So I think when it comes down to it, you know what? You've swayed my opinion. I'm gonna put him in starter because I think if he was on a good team, Davis Mills would be a much better quarterback. He still would not be great. He still would not be good, but he would be
I'll
good
tell you what,
enough. Go ahead.
the Patriots would be better with Davis Mills over Mac Jones.
So just to recap, we have Joe Burrow by himself as a great player. We have Tua, Justin Herbert, and Jalen Hurts as franchise guys. We have Trevor Lawrence as good but not great. We have Justin Fields and Davis Mills as starters. Mac Jones as a journeyman, 100%. And Zach Wilson as a bust, bro. I don't care. Nobody's going to get me off of this fucking platform, bro. He is a bust. Nobody's going to change my mind, bro.
You know what's funny about this tier list? It just goes to show you the separation between the 2020 class and 2021. Not one guy in 2021 do we feel is at least a franchise guy.
But I would say in the 2021 class or the 2020 class, in their first year, how many would be in that same ranking that we got them right now? Tua wouldn't,
Yeah, but the thing with Tua, I think Tua, because of his circumstances, that it would have been an incomplete. Because most people I know would have been like, you know what, we don't know until we give him the opportunity, right? Because go ahead.
If it's at this point in the season last year, we probably have Joe Burrow way lower.
No, because Joe Burrow went to
at this point in the season last year, they weren't hot yet.
Yeah, but we knew that Joe Burrow wasn't the problem. We would have probably had Joe Burrow at worst, at good, but not great. At worst, we wouldn't have had him lower than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like sometimes we can see who's better than their situation. And I think with Joe Burrow, which is the reason why he's the only person that we can say is a great player, is because say what you want, like. He took the Bengals to the Super Bowl, bro. His second year, the Bengals, bro. Like the Bengals. He
survived the game with 9 sacks and he beat Mahomes. Like, sorry, that's impressive.
And you take 9 sacks and win. You got my vote.
If all he had to do was be average in the Super Bowl and they win. Like the Rams were not good in that Super Bowl. Like he was good enough to win, but he had a bad game. That's the only reason why they lost. The Bengals were the better team in that Super Bowl as well. So yeah, I don't think that. It's just with Tua, it was so hard because his best receiver was Devontae Parker. Like we see what Devontae Parker is doing to Mac Jones. Now, granted, Mac Jones was going to make it better anyway, but because he's a journeyman.